it's me again. Today we're going to read Princess Disguise Search on Myrtle Towers. I really love this bright color. Really. Chapter 17 Journey Across the Waves. The full moon shone high in the sky as Grace, Scarlet, and Izumi stood side by side by the silvery sand. They stared out across the sea towards Mermaid Rock, its spiky trident shape casting three long shadows across the shimmering midnight water. "Thank you for coming with me," said Grace, putting her arms around her friends as they watched the waves, waiting for Waverly to appear. Scarlet let a tiny whimper. "I just wish I wasn't so nervous," she said, leaping backwards as the waves splashed onto the shore. "You'll be fine," laughed Grace. "I think you're actually braver than the rest of us put together." It was true. Scarlet was always afraid of new things. But whenever real courage was needed, she was nerved as strong as a suit of armor. Grace knew she could never have left her to come and rescue Waverly alone. "That's right, Scarlet," chuckled Izumi. "Remember how you were the first one to jump on the dragon's back the time Goy saved us from the cliffs? It was you who stood up to Princess when she was bullying me in our first term," said Grace. Grace chuckled with embarrassment. "I'm just glad we're all here together tonight," she said, "to keep each other safe." "I wouldn't have missed it for the world," said Izumi. "I'm longing to see what Mermaid Rock is really like. It's going to be an adventure, isn't it?" smiled Grace. "Now we have the diamonds, we can enjoy ourselves. We know we can save Waverly for sure." "I wish we had a different gift we would offer to the sea," sighed Scarlet. "It seems so sad to have to give your mother necklace again." Izumi agreed. "It's the right thing to do," said Grace bravely. But necklace was the only thing of Mama's she'd never been given. To hand the diamond on so soon was going to break her heart. She ran her fingers over the precious stones around her neck. She hadn't taken them off since her birthday party, and they felt warmer now, pressed against her skin. "At least they're clipped on tight," she smiled. "It would be just like me to lose them before we even got to Mermaid Rock." "Don't even say that!" gasped Scarlet. She had taken off her own locket and left it safely on the Dorminardi before they came to the beach. The girls had changed into the swimming costume just in case they had to swim all the way out to the rock. "I'm sure Waverly will bring the boat for us," said Grace, feeling Scott trembling beside as they stared at the sea. "Hello!" called a high, clear voice, and I saw a splash of tail above the waves. "It doesn't sound like Waverly," she said. A moment later, Oceana slid on shingle. "We must hurry," said the older teacher. "Waverly is too weak to swim. She's waiting at Mermaid Rock. We don't have a moment to lose." "How do we reach the rock?" asked Scarlet, no longer able to hide her terror in her voice. It was clear that Oceana had not brought a boat. Even Grace felt nervous. She knew the mermaid teacher would look after them. But the rock was very long away from the shore. "Look!" she cried. 3 dolphins were leaping through the waves toward them. "You must call them to you," said Oceana. "You're going to ride on their backs." Grace felt a flash of excitement. She had ridden a unicorn many times, of course, and a dragon once, but never a dolphin. "Come on, Dolphin," she cooed, but the dolphins ignored her. "They won't come to you like that," said Oceana with an impatient flip of her tail. The anxious teacher was clearly desperate to head back to Waverly as quick as they could. "You have to sing for them." "Sing? Oh no!" Grace cleared her throat. "Dolphins, QE, come here," she warbled. Her voice was carried back to her on the wind. It sounded as if a sea was trying to be sick. "Come, lovely dolphins, come here," he sang again. But instead of swimming closer, the gentle creatures turned and fled back to the sea. "I don't think they like that much," said Grace. But then Scarlet stepped shyly forward and began to sing. "Oh, come, leaping dolphins, oh, seeds of the sea. Oh, come to the shore now, oh, carry me." Grace had never heard Scarlet's voice sound so beautiful. Instantly, the dolphins turned and began to swim back towards the shore. "Well done, Scarlet. How do you know how to sing?" gasped Izumi. I'm not sure." Scarlet looked surprised as anybody. "Isn't it a nursery rhyme or something? I think I heard it when I was a little girl." "That's an old mermaid tune," said Oceana, who was circling a little way offshore. She stared at Scarlet with her head on one side. "It is rare for someone from the land to know the words." "Look," whispered Grace. "The 3 silvery blue dolphins had swum up the shallow water." "Climb on," said Oceana. "We must hurry." Dolphins make soft clicking sounds as if to reassure the girls that everything would be all right. Poor Scarlet still looked terrified as she stepped into the edge of the sea and water flapped over her toes. You don't have to come if you don't want to, said Grace. Honestly, I'll be fine. Scarlet shook her head. It is my fault. Waverly broke the mermaid code to rescue you in the first place. You should be with I should be with you when you give the gift to the sea. Here goes then, said Grace. The three girls held hands and splashed through the shallow water towards the waiting dolphins. The moment she was on the dolphin's back, Grace knew she was going to enjoy the ride. Hush! They were off. Grace's dolphins leaped high out of the water. Yippee! She cried, holding on the dolphin's fin with one hand and clutching the diamonds around her neck. The other. It was just like riding Billy bareback, instead that the dolphin was slippery. Grace had to grip tight to her knees as they soared over the waves. Grace's dolphin was the fastest of the three. Izumi was just behind her, but Scarlet went more slowly, hanging back beside Oceana, as if sensing that the rider was afraid. Oh, what a fun riding trip. Soon as the wet walls of Mermaid Rock rose out of the water ahead of them, glistening like an enchanted place in the moonlight. The dolphins slowed and began to circle round in the water. Thank you, said Grace, patting her dolphin's smooth head. He turned and muzzled her with his long gray nose. Grace looked up at the bright full moon. All the excitement of the ride still bubbling inside her. I can't believe it, she smiled as Scarlet's dolphin bobbed alongside. We're going to be able to stay Waterley, and we get to visit Mermaid Rock too. Chapter 18, Mermaid Rock. We are here. You wrote well, young Majesty, said Oceana. She smiled encouragingly, but her tail was flicking from side to side beneath the water. Well, since she was more anxious than ever. The Mermaid Queen is waiting inside, she said, pointing to an archway at the base of Mermaid Rock. You will need to swim underwater for a few moments. When you come up the other side, you will find yourself in the royal grotto. Like secret cave? Asked Grace, patting her dolphin one last time and sliding off his back. Exactly, said Oceana. Hurry now. Don't worry, Scarlet. I'll go first, said Scarlet. Grace looking around, expecting her friend to be scared. But Scarlet had already dived into the water and disappeared. Wait! Cried Izumi, but Grace knew there was no time to lose. Come on, she said. They plunged downward together, following the ripples that Scarlet had left behind. Once they were through the archway, Grace swam up towards a circle of light. She gasped as she broke through the surface of the water. Just as Oceana had promised, they were inside the grotto, but Grace didn't expect anything as large and beautiful as this. Scrambling out on the polished mother of pearl floor, she held out the world and ceiling were cable covered with swirling mosaics of brightly colored shells. The top of the high roof was open to the sky, and directly below was a perfect round pool of clear blue water. In the stillness of its surface, Grace could see the full moon reflected like a shining lantern. Scarlet was standing at the edge of the pool. Grace and Izumi glanced at each other. They had never seen her so bold before. Scarlet normally hung back, shy to show herself in new places, but she stepped forward and curtsied to golden tail mermaid in the shining crown. Grace guessed this must be the Mermaid Queen. Greetings, Your Majesty, Scarlet said. Izumi bobbed down elegantly beside her, and Grace tried her best to do the same, but her wet feet kept slipping on the shiny floor. She toppled backwards and clutched hold of Izumi's arm. As she landed in the tangled heap, she wished she could have an elegant, shiny tail like a mermaid instead of her long, skinny leg with knobbly knees. They looked more gallant than ever, poking her out of the swimsuits. Izumi helped her up, and Grace tried her best to curtsy all over again. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused, Your Majesty, she said. Shh! The royal mermaid raised her finger to her lips. What is done is done. Now we must do all we can help save Waverly. She gestured to the side of the pool. Waverly was lying motionless on the far side of the water. Her once dazzling tail was flecked and dried as ashes in a burnt-out fire. She barely lifted her head and whispered, Hello, friends. Her eyes flickered with hope for a moment as she smiled at Grace. But look at the beautiful Mermaid Queen. She has a golden tail then. Don't worry, everything's going to be all right, Grace said. She felt her heart leap. Now she had the diamond she could save Waverly for sure. The teenage mermaid will be back in the water, training for the 7 oceans race before the next full moon. I am proud of what Waverly did, said the Queen, but she's right to save you from the water. But the sea is a cruel mistress. I hope you have a gift great enough to prepare your depth and free Waverly from the dreadful punishment of living on the land. The merfolk who were gathered on the rock around the pool let out a slow, sad moan. For us, there's no fate worse than to leave the ocean forever, said the dark-haired merman with a silver spear. Don't worry, I have the perfect gift, said Grace, seeing Waverly so helpless. She was more certain than ever this is what Mama would have wanted her to do with the diamonds. Scarlet was still staring silently into the pool, but Grace glanced at Izumi, who gave her a bright smile of encouragement. Come, stand here by the returning pool, said Oceana, leading Grace to the edge of the circle at the clear water. Returning pool? Said Grace. What an odd name. Why is it called that? But the mermaid was singing now and nobody seemed to hear her. You must read these words, said the mermaid, handing Grace a scroll. Then slip your treasure gently into the pool. Gently? Grace nodded. Got it. The merfolk singing rose higher and higher as everyone stared at her. Grace gulped. She hadn't realized there would be some sort of ceremony. Sorry. Grace blushed as she fumbled to untie a ribbon of seaweed from her scroll. She cleared her throat and seemed to word in Beth's loud voice, which seemed to echo all around the rocky grotto. I give thanks, kind mermaid, for saving me, and offer this gift to repay the sea. Given freely with love, this treasure once mine shall return to the sea till the end of time. Grace reached up to undo the clasps of her necklace, struggling to get it undone. She tried not to think of how beautiful the diamonds were or what they might have meant to Mama. The only thing that mattered now was saving Waverly. Wait! Cried the queen, leaning forward as the bright reflection of the diamond shimmered on the water. Is that the gift you intend to give? Yes, Grace nodded. Is something wrong? But at that moment, the clasp came undone and the necklace fell on her neck. It was a loud splash as the diamonds sank into the pool. Waverly let out a low moan. Oops! Grace turned desperately towards the queen. The royal mermaid was shaking her head. I'm sorry, that wasn't very gentle, said Grace. My finger slipped. As she spoke, the water pool began to bubble and swirl. Chapter 19. The Returning Pool. What's happening? Cried Grace. The water was surging so fast it was a giant whirlpool had sprung up beneath the floor of the grotto. Look out! Grace grabbed Scarlet's arm and pulled her back from the edge of the pool, just as a huge fountain of water up like a tidal wave. The diamonds! Grace saw a flash of something bright and shiny flew above the spray. The necklace was thrown high into the air. It was a streak of silver light like lightning, and the jewels were tossed out the pool. Grace was still holding Scarlet's arm, but she let go and scrambled on the floor, dropping the diamonds as they shot past her. Oh, what a dear, dreadful. Just as quickly as the whirlpool had begun, the water settled and cleared. Did it work? I spun around to look at Waverly. The mermaid's eyes were closed and her face was still. Her poor rag tail was twitching like a fish desperate to turn into the water. I don't understand, gasped Grace. This is worse than ever she could have imagined. The sea seemed somehow angry with the diamonds. It had thrown them from the pool as if they were ruthless glass, and Waverly looked worse than ever. Let me try again, said Grace, turning towards the queen. I'll be more careful this time. I'll slither into the pool really gently, without so much as a splash. I'm afraid there's no point, said the queen, flicker her tail mighty golden. The sea does not want your gift, she said sadly. The sea doesn't want it? Grace stared down the shimmering diamonds in her hands. But this is the necklace. This necklace is the only valuable thing I own, she said. I don't have anything else. She had never for a moment dreamed that the precious diamonds could not be enough to save Waverly. All of your diamonds are valuable and generous gifts, said the queen. They are on the land. Off the land? Echoed Grace. What do you mean? Diamonds are dug from the rocks under the ground, said the mermaid queen. That's right. Izumi came to stand next to Grace. We read about that in the library, do you remember? The Princess Guide to Jewels explained how diamonds were mined from the earth. Grace nodded. But what does it matter if the diamonds on the land? She said desperately. And this necklace was given to me freely and with love, just as Waverly said it would be. She held the necklace. These diamonds belong to my mother and my great-grandmother and great-great-grandmother before that. The love for them is great. I can feel that, said the queen. But your gift must be something that comes from the sea. Did Waverly not explain? Oh dear, said Waverly weakly. I called out to you, Grace. The night I saved you, but you were back on the beach. Perhaps you didn't hear me. Oh no! Grace remembered Waverly had shouted something, but she had already been charging across the sand towards the towers. Desperate to be back in dormitory before Flint had caught them out of bed. For all their beauty, your diamonds could never have saved Waverly, said the Queen. If I only had known what you planned to give. The sea has no need of them. The gift must be something that was once taken away from the water and now is returned to repay your debt. How can I be so stupid? Grace groaned, thinking of the word she had just reached out of scorn. Given freely with love, this treasure once mine. Ferrari turned to the sea to the end of time. That was why the turning pool has such a strange name. The magical waters were intended to receive precious gifts back to the sea, to return them to where they had come from in the first place. But anything had come from the sea, said Grace. It is hopeless then, said the proud Queen, and she crumbled as she was about to cry. I shall miss poor Waverly dreadfully when she banished the land. Grace swallowed. She felt her own eyes fill out with tears. It was all her fault. If only she had listened more carefully. But wait! Waverly cried out. I feel a little stronger. Her voice was clear and her eyes were bright. That's wonderful! Grace clapped her hands. She could see the mermaid's tail would rose loudly, now with speckles of silver amongst the dual gray scales once again. Perhaps the diamonds did the trick after all, she cheered. She turned back to the Queen. Do you think that can be true? But the Queen shook her head. It is not the diamond that helped. Look, she pointed towards the returning pool. Grace spun around. Scarlet! She cried. The red-haired princess was standing in the middle of the water. Quickly, let out the pool, said Grace, her heart pounding. Her smile was singing softly to herself with the same faraway expression on her face that Grace had seen the night she followed her to the beach. It is too late, the Mermaid Queen. Scarlet had offered herself to the sea as a gift. That's why I'm growing strong again, said Waverly, tears streaming down her face. The pool has taken Scarlet to pay your debt. Grace felt as he punched in the stomach. My legs feel strange, said Scarlet. Her voice was tired, but she sounded quite calm. No! Cried Izumi, but he dashed forward and peered into the clear blue water of the water pool. Below the surface, you could see the shape of Scarlet's long, pale legs. Only if they weren't pale white anymore, they were glowing silver, as if someone had sprinkled them with diamonds. Oh, Scarlet! gasped Grace, remembering her friend's worst fears. You're turning into a mermaid! Oh no! I'm going to stop this because I'm already reading 4 chapters. It was so bad as it ended with you're turning to a mermaid. Oh dear! But you wanna see what's next time? Bye. You might be excited.